إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. واشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له واشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه. أدى الأمانة ونصح لهذه الأمة فتركنا على المحجة البيضاء ليلها كنهارها لا يزيغ عنها إلا هالك. عباد Allah, dear servants of Allah, I advise myself primarily than all of you to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to put your faith and your hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to fully rely and depend upon Allah wahdahu la sharika lah, to be conscious and well aware of who you are, where you are and what you are doing, and reflect and question yourself. Are you upon the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or are you upon the disobedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? To have taqwa in Allah is to have a guarantee in this dunya and to have a guarantee in the akhirah. Taqwa is as if though you are traveling through a garden, and on the right and the left are bushes full of thorns. So you gather your clothing and you go through the path carefully treading. تشمر وتجتهد. And that is the journey of life. As you are walking through this journey of life, you are being cautious to not displease Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to not transgress the bounds of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to maintain libas al-taqwa, to maintain your etiquette, to maintain the proper guidance of the Quran and the Sunnah. That is what taqwa is. To be mindful and conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His words, and His words are the greatest words, the most profound words, the most unique words. Because He, Jalla fi'ulah, is the creator of all creations. And He is addressing His blessed creation, you and I. And He says, أَلَا إِنَّ أَوْلِيَاءَ اللَّهِ. For the companions of Allah, the beloved to Allah, لَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. There is no fear upon them. They will never feel sadness. They will never be gripped by discontent. الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَكَانُوا يَتَّقُونَ. Those who believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and hold taqwa in their hearts. لَهُمُ الْبُشْرَى. لَكُمُ الْبُشْرَى. You have the glad tidings. في الدنيا والآخرة. That is the guarantee of success in this life and in the next. No one can offer you anything. There is no guarantee except the guarantee of Allah. Jalla fi'ulah. The greatest words are His words, as I mentioned. Words that cannot be mimicked, cannot be duplicated, cannot be altered, cannot be fabricated, cannot be matched. They are unlike the words of His creation. And we say that Al-Quran kalamullah wa huwa munazzahun 'an at-tashbih wa at-tamthil. And the greatest of all the guidance, the greatest of all the examples is the example of Muhammad Abul Qasim sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. And just to note something here, if you watch a lot of the clips online, a lot of the du'at, even some of the scholars, the ulama, hafidhahumullah wa hadahum, they will say Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Do not do that. It is Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam bil afdal. Do not swallow the praise and the blessings and the praise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He mentioned in His book, in His words, for the peace and the blessings upon Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And He warned us that the worst, most evil, most devious of all the matters The most destructive of all the agents and the aspects are the innovations, the fabrications, al-bid'ah. Every season, every month, every household, every culture, we have them. They're prevalent. And there is no exemption. We're in the month of Sha'ban, and I will demonstrate to you that there are bid'ah prevalent in this month. And He warned us against these bid'ah. Because to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon misguidance is a loss that is immeasurable. A man or a woman will worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon bid'ah for 70, 80, 100 years, and when the time comes for hisab, the time comes for reward, كل ذلك يذهب هباء منثورا. All that will be rejected. All that will turn to dust, وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. Because the news has come to you that we follow only that which is authentic in the narration of the hadith, and we follow only that which is understood accordingly in the Quran. But no, they said, we want to pray 100 rak'ahs. We want to recite the specific ayah, the specific surah, in the specific time, in the specific manner. The intention is good, yes, we said. We'll agree with that. But the method is flawed, and by that, we mean that the method is not upon the correct method. And the correct method is the method of who? The method of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He warned of these innovations, and he said that they will lead down a deep, dark path of disarray and delusion and destruction and confusion. And at the end of that path, it is not pearly gates awaiting you in the malaika wa salam. It is hellfire. So I seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the torments and the agony of the hellfire upon myself and all of you and your families and loved ones. Amma ba'd. We are in the 10th or the 11th of Sha'ban. And this last week I mentioned is a blessed month. And some of you might have picked up on that and said, what does he mean by a blessed month? Every month is blessed. Every month is blessed, all 12. Minhum arba'atun hurum. From them are 4 sacred months. And what do we mean by sacred? These 4 sacred months that are specific are the months where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decreed that there shall be no war, no acts of transgression except to defend oneself. This month, the month of Sha'ban, is not of the sacred months. However, it is, yes, a blessed month. And Aisha radiallahu anha wa ardaha, she narrated and reported in the authentic narration. And Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhu and Abuh also narrated that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam would fast in the month of Sha'ban. More so than any of the other months, besides the compulsory month of Ramadan, obviously. And when he was asked, why is it, Ya Rasulullah, that you specifically fast more days in this month than the other days? He said it is because this is a month which most people neglect. Most people overlook. So he, sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, would fast many days in this month. Some narrations have the entire month. But he advised those who wanted to follow in his footsteps to fast as many days of this month, but to avoid fasting 2, 3, or a single day before the month of Ramadan, in order to distinguish between the compulsory fast, which is Ramadan, and the voluntary fast. Now, which days in this month could you fast if you haven't fasted? You can fast any days which Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam was accustomed to fast. Mondays and Thursdays, Ayyam al-Bayt, 13, 14, 15. You have to fast the missed days. If you have any missed days that you missed from the previous Shahr Ramadan, previous year, you must make them up. There is no option, you must before Ramadan enters. But now we have people saying that there's a specific day in this specific month that comes right in the middle, the 15th of Sha'ban. And they say that this is a sacred time. And this comes upon the authentic narration. وصححها الألباني, Shaykh al-Albani rahmatullahi alayhi rahmatan wasi'ah, he said that this narration is authentic. That when the half of Sha'ban, the nisf of Sha'ban comes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descends and decrees forgiveness upon all of His creation, except for two. Al-Mushahin wal-Mushrik. The one who holds a grudge in his heart, remember we spoke about this last week, Qalbu Salim, and the one who associates partners with Allah. Those two people are exempt from the mercy and the forgiveness of Allah on that day. And this narration is authentic. But these people, they took it further, and they said, because it's such a valuable day, and the blessing, the reward is so immense, we should fast this specific day. We said to them, stop, wait. اختصاص الزمان والمكان بعبادة تشريع. العبادات عليها حكم توقيف. There is no dalil in the hadith that indicates to fast on this day. There is no dalil in this hadith that indicates we have to pray 100 rak'ahs on this day. There is no dalil in this hadith, which is authentic, to make qiyam or specific dua. So we're not going to negate the authentic narration, but we're also not going to accompany it by ibadah, which is not approved by the Quran and Sunnah. So if you're going to fast, again, the days of Sha'ban, Mondays, Thursdays, you can fast all the days except for the last 2 or 3 days, Ayyam al-Bayl. But you cannot specify the single day and tell me this is the day where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive me, so I want to be fasting on that day specifically. The Sahaba did not do this. The Tabi'een did not do this. We are no better than them. It is not an issue of controversy. It is merely an issue of facts. You see, we are a people of faith and facts. And this is what distinguishes us from the Christians. They are people of faith. They just believe. No, we believe. And we have etiquettes, we have practice, we have laws. We are governed and we follow. So do not just blindly act. And if you look into the ahadith that mention the merits of the month of Sha'ban, 99% of them are mawdu'. Mawdu' is a classification which means it's a lie, it's fabricated. La silata la. It does not even go. The chain of narration does not, it's disconnected. 99% of the ahadith that mention the merits of Sha'ban, mawdu', makdoob. So we as Muslims, we have to follow the authentic narrations. We have to follow the authentic, correct guidance. And as I mentioned, all acts of worship in this deen are restricted, they are limited. عليها حكم التوقيف. So with that, inshallah, I want you all to think about this. Don't just act blindly and follow blindly. Look into the matter and research. And I'm not standing here telling you not to fast. No. I will repeat myself. If you wish to fast, you may fast Mondays and Thursdays, Ayyam al-Bayl. You may fast the entire month, except leave out 1 or 2 days before Ramadan to distinguish between Ramadan and Sha'ban. But do not tell me that there's a special, specific day on the 15th and I'm going to fast that day. Because I will ask you for your dalil. أنت مطالب بالدليل الدال. لأن خرجت عن الأصل. بارك الله فيكم وأقول ما تسمعون واستغفر الله لي ولكم.